Sodanandana bhajanaranjana Yamuna tiravanachari Yamuna tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Vijana Balaba Grivaradari Jaya Gopijana Balaba Grivaradari Jaya Yasodhanandana Vajajanaranjana Yasodhanandana Vajajanaranjana Yamuna tiravanachari Yamuna tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Hare Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya. Nityago Haribo, 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 Nityago Haribo. Nitya go, Haribo, 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 Nitago, Haribo. Jaya Vishnupa Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Sutta Srimad. His Divine Grace is a Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki. Jaya Vishnupa Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Sutta Srimad. His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki. Prem se kao Sri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Go Bhakta ki Sri Sri Radha Kṛṣṇa Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana ki Vrindavan Dham ki Mayapur Dham ki Dwarka Dham ki Jagannath Dham ki Ganga Maya Manamaya ki Tulsi Devi ki Bhakti Devi ki Srinitai Gaurachandra ki Sri Sri Kṛṣṇa Balaram ki, Sri Shada Shama Sundar ki, Sri Lalita Vishaka Ashtasaki Vrinda ki, Harinam Sankirtan ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Go Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru Gauranga. Om Jnanati Mandasya Gana Gana Salakaya Chakshusmitam Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapita Yena Bhutale Sayarupa Kada Manyanda Dati Sampadantikam Vandeha Sri Guru Sitam Parakamala Sri Guru Vaishnavascha Sri Rupam Savajata Sagana Raghunatha Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam, Sapadutam, Parijana, Saitam, Sri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Deva, Sri Radha Kṛṣṇa Padasagana, Lalita, Sri Vishaka Vitamscha. Hey Kṛṣṇa Karuna Sindhu, Dinabandhu Jagatpate, Gopisa Gopika Kanto Radha Kanta Namastate. Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radha Vrindavaneshwari, Vrisabhanu Sute Devi Paramātmā Haripe. Panchakapatarabhyascha Kripasvindhi Vacha Patitanam Pavanabhebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Kṛṣṇaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanajicha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah Vasudeva Sutan Devam Kansachanuramadana Devaki Paramananda Kṛṣṇa Vande Jagaguru Namamo Vishnupadaya Kṛṣṇa Vistaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Devi Sesa Sunyavadi Pastakta Disatarini Panchakapatarubhyascha Kripasvindhi Vacha Patitanam Pavanabhebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavadanyaya Kṛṣṇa Premapadayate Kṛṣṇaya Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Namini Gauravdasi Namah Sri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaura Bhakta Vinaya Hare Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Ananda Lila Maya Vigraya Pema Bada Vichavi Sundaraja Tasma Maha Prima Rasa Padaya Chaitanya Namaste Chaitanya Namaste. So I thank everyone for being here this evening for the Bhagavad Gita class, and also those who are watching from the Vrindavan TV. So we are speaking from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3. The chapter is Kama Yoga. Kama Yoga, the yoga of action. So it is Kama Yoga, the yoga of action. So Lord Kṛṣṇa is instructing his dear disciple Arjuna because Kṛṣṇa has taken the role of Guru. Is it 22, right? Huh? Is it 22 or 32?
32.
Oh, it's 32. Is it? Oh, I thought it's 22. I thought it was 22. So it's 32, okay. It's 32, right? 32, okay. So Kṛṣṇa has taken the role of Guru, instructing his dear disciple Arjuna. Back to Srimad Sakacheti, that Kṛṣṇa, Arjuna is Kṛṣṇa's devotee and also a friend, but on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjuna became the disciple and Kṛṣṇa became the Guru. So we can hear this timeless message of the Bhagavad Gita. So this is the Karma Yoga section. There are 18 chapters. Each chapter, it's yoga, but different topics of yoga. But those yoga is meant to connect us with God, with Kṛṣṇa, Bhagavan. Whatever we do in this world bind us, kama bandhana, it binds us in this material world. But if we are doing the same thing, and as a devotee to Kṛṣṇa, to God, as a bhakti to God, so the same activity that binds us to the material world, that become, but if it's done in connection with God, so it's no more binding, it's become yoga, which means it connects us with the Lord. It becomes yoga. Whatever activity you are doing, if you are doing it for your sense gratification, that is kama bandhana, bind you to the material world, and then the repetition of birth and death. But the same karma, the same activities, when it becomes yoga, kama yoga, because it's activity that is meant for the satisfaction of God, of the Supreme Lord, then that frees you from the material world. So now, Kṛṣṇa has been talking about different aspects of yoga. So we read together text 32. I thought text 22. So text 32. Etad abhyasūyanto. Sarva-jñāna-vimūḍhāṁs. Viddhi naṣṭān acetasaḥ. Etad abhyasūyanto. nānutiṣṭhanti matam. sarva-jñāna-vimūḍhāṁs. Viddhi naṣṭān acetasaḥ. etad abhyasūyanto. nānutiṣṭhanti matam. sarva-jñāna-vimūḍhāṁs. Viddhi naṣṭān acetasaḥ.
etad abhyasūyanto. nānutiṣṭhanti matam.
sarva-jñāna-vimūḍhāṁs.
viddhi naṣṭān acetasaḥ. etad abhyasūyanto. nānutiṣṭhanti matam. sarva-jñāna-vimūḍhāṁs. viddhi naṣṭān acetasaḥ.
Anybody else?
etad abhyasūyanto. nānutiṣṭhanti me matam sarva-jñāna-vimūḍhāṁs viddhi naṣṭān acetasaḥ.
Yea, those two, however, etad, this, abhyasūyantaḥ, out of envy, do not, anutiṣṭhanti, regularly perform, me, my, matam, injunction, sarva-jñāna, in all sorts of knowledge, vimūḍhān, perfectly befooled, tan, they are, viddhi, know it well, naṣṭān, all ruined, acetasaḥ, without Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki. But those who out of envy disregard these teachings and do not follow them regularly are to be considered bereft of all knowledge, befooled, and ruined in their endeavors for perfection. Purport. The flaw of not being Kṛṣṇa conscious is clearly stated herein. As there is punishment for disobedience to the order of the Supreme Executive Head, so there is certainly punishment for disobedience to the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A disobedient person, however great he may be, he is ignorant of his own self and of the Supreme Brahman, Paramātmā, and the Personality of Godhead, due to a vacant heart. Therefore, there is no hope of perfection of life for him. Etad abhyasūyanto nānutiṣṭhanti matam sarva-jñāna-vimūḍhāṁs viddhi naṣṭān acetasaḥ. Those who out of envy disregard these teachings and do not follow them regularly are to be considered bereft of all knowledge, befooled and ruined in their endeavors for perfection. So in the previous verse, because the Lord is talking about the difference between those who execute their duties and follow the instruction and those who do not. So in the previous verse, the Lord said, Ye me matam idam nityam anutiṣṭhanti manabha sadavanto naṣṭānto muchanti kamabe. Those persons who execute their duties according to my injunctions and who follow this teaching faithfully without envy become free from the bondage of fruitive actions. So the Lord is saying that those who execute their duties according to His instructions and also follow the teaching faithfully, then they get liberated from the ocean, from this material world. They get liberation from the ocean of materialistic existence. On the other hand, those who are like is called, the Lord says, sarva-jñāna-vimūḍhāṁs. those who do not follow, who disregard the teaching, so they are considered to be vimūḍhān, which means they are fools, bereft of knowledge, the mothers. So the Lord said, that those who are full, they can never understand me. Those who are full, they can never understand the Lord. So actually in this material world, anyone who refuses to understand the science of God, to understand the science of sambandha, abhyasūyanto, and prayojana, such a person is a fool. Sambandha means the knowledge of our relationship, what connects us. Where do we belong? Who are we? Just like when Sanatana Goswami first approached Mahaprabhu, his question is, Kayami, who am I? Lord Sanatana Goswami was telling Mahaprabhu that, people consider me as a big scholar because in his time, when Sanatana Goswami was the prime minister in the kingdom of King Hussein Shah of Bengal, so he was very highly learned person, very highly learned, so many languages, Persian language, so many languages, Arabic, of course, Sanskrit, Hindi, everything. So he was very highly considered, very learned. Many people will give him praise. He was highly praised by his vast learning, vast erudition. So the king was very, very much appreciative of. He was very, very much appreciative of Sanatana Goswami that he took him to confidence. Always took him into confidence. Nothing the king will do without the advice of Sanatana Goswami. And that time he was Sakara Malik, before he met Mahaprabhu. But after he met Mahaprabhu, and then he met Mahaprabhu in Varanasi. So very, very humbly, because he gave up all his materialistic endeavors, he gave up everything. He renounced all his position, everything. And then he went, as a penniless person, he went to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Varanasi. So he submitted himself to Mahaprabhu and was asking a question. He was very, very humbly. He presented himself as somebody who is devoid of any quality, somebody who is like a destitute. That's how he presented himself, a destitute who devoid everything. He said, "My dear Lord, my dear Lord, the people have so much praise of me because they consider me to be very, very learned. Everybody praise me. But what kind of knowledge do I have? What kind of learning do I have? I don't even know myself. I don't even know who am I. I don't know myself." So therefore, which means that the Lord mentioned here vimūḍhān, being befooled, like when somebody else thinking themselves to be very learning, but actually they don't really understand the real fundamental knowledge of life. When you don't understand, know the knowledge of yourself, what binds you to this material world, and how can you get free from it? You don't know that. You don't know your identity. So what kind of learning do you have? So Sanatana Goswami, very, very humbly, with straw in his mouth, he he made a humble inquiry. Clear me. What is me? Who am I? Who am I? That is the question he asked Chaitanya Prabhu. And of course Chaitanya Prabhu began to instruct him, say that yes, Jivira Swarupa Kṛṣṇa Nityadas, that yes, the Swarup, the original identity of a jiva, the original form of a jiva is that of eternal servant of Kṛṣṇa. Jivira Swarupāya Kṛṣṇa Nityadas, that yes, you are eternal servant of Kṛṣṇa, there's no other identity. So that is Sambandha, whereby one to understand oneself. So the scriptures fully teaches Sambandha, Abhidheya, and Prayojan. So Sambandha is known to know oneself. Who am I? Where do I come from? And what is my next destination? I think many of us, when we first joined, when we were coming to Kṛṣṇa consciousness movement, this is always our question. This is our initial question, that I want to know myself. Who am I? Where I'm from? Because in the contemporary religion that we all grow up in, the answer to this question is never there. There is no answer to these questions. There's like this answer that question that who am I? Where do I come from? And where do I go from here? Why there's so much suffering in the world? You don't find the answer to these questions. All the contemporary religions. The most they can tell you is that, well, God made you that way. If you're enjoying, you're in a good situation, God made it that way. And if you're suffering, God made it that way. That is the most question they can ever give. But if you start asking why there's so much inequality in the world, why there's so much inequality, somebody's having so much while another person has nothing. Somebody's having a good time in life, another person is simply suffering. Why all these things in life? So the adequate answer can never be given by the contemporary religions. So which means they present God as someone who is very, very partial. Somebody who is not kind to everyone. That's the way they present God. Somebody who is very partial, who is not partial, who is very, very partial. Some people he likes and some people he doesn't like. Just like when some countries are going to war to fight with the other person, they will say, oh, God is with us. They will say, oh, God is with us. So therefore, we're going to be victorious because God is with us. That's what they will say. Just like Prabhupada was giving a lecture one time. He was saying that when the Germans and the French, when they were during the World War II, when they were going to war, so their wives were praying to God. Wives of the Germans and the wives of the French soldiers, they were praying to God that God, please let our husband come home. Please save our husband, let our husband come home. So now the French and German, they were going to fight against each other. So obviously, somebody's going to get killed. Somebody's going to. So now the wife of Germans and the wife of the French, they are both praying to God that God, let our husband come home. So now, which side God is going to choose? Which side? So which means God is perplexed. Well, I remember this lecture, Prabhupada was saying this, and Prabhupada was, laughing. So now God is perplexed. So So this is the thing, because how things work in this world, we don't understand. And then when things go wrong, we put the blame on God. And also, when things go wrong, we put blame on God. But if things go bad, if things go good, for example, if we are having a good time in life, we actually don't attribute that to God. We think that, because I am expert. Because I am expert, therefore, I'm able to manifest things. So that time we don't give grace, we don't give honor to God. But when things are going bad with us, it's like, why me, why me, why me? So we start blaming God. But reality is that everything is based on karma. What you do, you get back. It's based on karma. So therefore, the karma is such a thing. The karma is the real binding thing, because karma is the action. So the action we are doing, that determines our destination, our next, what happened to us next, whatever action that we are doing, whatever karma we are doing. So therefore, the Lord is telling Arjuna in this particular text that do not become envy. And of course, Arjuna is not of envy. Arjuna is a devotee. So there's no question of him being envy. He's a devotee. So the Lord said, but those who don't accept these teachings, who don't accept this teaching, because it was anasuya named Masara. That's if those the envy is there. So those who are because of envy and they disregard the teachings and do not follow them, so those kind of persons, the Lord said, they are bereft of knowledge, they are foolish and ruined. Because sometimes people, they want to pursue spiritual knowledge. They want to pursue the path of yoga. They want to pursue spirituality, but at the same time, they will refuse to take any guidance. They will refuse to take any guidance from higher authority. They think they can know it by themselves. They think, I don't need a teacher, I don't need a guru, I can know it by myself. So the Lord says such persons, because being envious of the higher authority, they think they can know everything by themselves, they think they can attain the perfection. Of course, they will not attain anything. Just like when you want to, let's say, for example, there was one story of a marriage party. So the marriage party, they wanted to attend the marriage ceremony. And the marriage ceremony is supposed to take, they are leaving this marriage party, they were leaving from one village, and they have to go to another village to go attend this marriage party. And there's a river separating the two villages. There's a river separating the two villages. So it was evening time. It was night time. So the marriage party, they went to the river bank, and they told the boatman that we have to go across the other side of the river because we have to attend a marriage party. So therefore, take us across. And especially the marriage ceremony is according to timing. They have to be there like 5 o'clock the next morning. So they all got into the boat. So everyone got into the boat. And then the boatman started rowing his boat. And as the boatman rowing his boat, everybody fell asleep. They were sleeping in the boat. And the boatman was rowing his boat, and he was rowing the boat all night long. So at the daybreak, so everybody woke up, and then they asked the boatman that if they have reached the location, if they have reached the destination. So the boatman, he answered that, yes, I've been rowing the boat all night long, so we have reached the destination, because after all, I've been rowing the boat all night long. So the party, they look around, they could not see, they could not identify where they are supposed to go. They couldn't identify where they're supposed to go. And then they asked the boatman again that, are you sure where we're supposed to go? But the boatman said, yes, I've been rowing the boat all night long. But again, they look around, and then as they look around, and then they find out that this is where they were before. The previous night, they were still the same spot. So they asked the boatman, like, how come we are still the same spot that we were last night? So the boatman said, what do you mean? I've been rowing my boat all night long. And then as they were looking. And then they found that the boat did not remove the anchor. So they said, oh, stupid man, you did not remove the anchor, you are simply rowing the boat all night long. We're still in the same spot. You know. So those who want to pursue spiritual knowledge, spiritual discipline, without accepting the authority, the bona fide authority. So it's like that because they are simply dwelling on their mind. It's simply dealing on the mind, that depending. But depending on your mind, because the mind is like we want to say, okay, this is that, nothing, which is what my body is always doing. My body they want to understand the absolute truth, but everything is all based on nothing, not this, not that, not this, not that. And then either they be using grammatical terms, trying to understand the supreme reality. You know, that's why the Sri Sankaracharya, after he has been teaching all these disciples, so at the end of his life, before he passed away, he told them, Mudam, he called the disciples fools. He said, you're a bunch of fools. You should worship Govinda. You know, some people take Dukrin Karane, that, you know, nothing will save you from this ocean of material existence unless you take shelter, unless you worship Govinda, unless you worship Kṛṣṇa. But those who are envious of the Lord, they don't take this, they do not accept this because of the envy of the Lord. So the envious person, they never have any faith. They don't have faith in the scripture. They don't have faith in the Sastra. Because they're envious of the super soul. And this envy is what keeps us in this material world. That's why because we're in the material world, thinking that we can be the master, we are the master. And we don't want to accept the whole idea that there can actually be a real master. Is that Isvara Paramātmā Kṛṣṇa Sachidananda Vigraha. In Anadiyadi Govindam Sabakaranam Karanam. The Supreme Master, the Supreme Controller is Kṛṣṇa. He is the Supreme Master. Lord Kṛṣṇa said in the Gita, he said, Bhaktaram Jagata Pasha, Savalokam Maheshwaram. Bhaktaram. He said that I am the enjoyer of everything. I am the supreme enjoyer Sarvalokam Maheshwaram. I am the, what is that? All the worlds, I'm the proprietor of everything. I'm the proprietor of everything. And then yes, he's a supreme enjoyer, and he's a proprietor of everything. Then he also said, Sudam Savadeyinam. I am also the friend of all living entities. Suridam means the intimate, not just because in Sanskrit language there are so many words for French, for friend. A lot of what is there. It can be Bandhu, it also means friend. Shaka is also means friend. Shaka is also means friend. But Suridam is something that is very, very intimate. Surit. He said, I am the intimate friend of all living entities. But people don't know this. So therefore the Lord said, Gentraman Shanti Richati. Those who know this, then they become peaceful because they surrender unto me. And Savasha Prabhavo, Mata Sava Prabhatate, Iti Mata Bhajantima Buddha Baba Asamambita. So there are many statements in Bhagavad Gita where Kṛṣṇa, he said that I am the controller, I am the origin of everything. Everything is coming from me. Everything is coming from me. And the Iti Mata Bhajantima. Those who knows this, then they worship me. But it requires faith, isn't it? It requires faith. Like the Lord mentioned, when one studies the scriptures, then it's not just having a scriptural knowledge, Shraddha also must be there, the faith must be there. Sadamvito nasuyato muchanti pikamabi. The faith must be there. So that's why it's very, very important that yes, when one approaches the scriptures approach with faith. Because it's with that faith that is there, then so that whatever one is studying, and of course under the guidance of a bona fide authority, under the guidance, so the faith is there, then one's able to understand. Whereas without faith, then the last mention in there's one verse, they say, there's one verse that for those who do not have faith in this process, which I've been explaining, he said that they can never attain any perfection. They can never attain anything. Those who don't have faith, they can never attain any perfection. But those who have faith is because they are devoid of envy. They're not envy. Their mind, their heart is very, very clean. The heart is clean, so therefore there's no envy there. But when the heart is very, very dirty, then one is envious of the Lord. When the heart is full of garbage, and that garbage is because of the existence in this material world. Because of the long journey in the material world, so therefore the heart is full of garbage. When the heart is full of nonsense, garbage, there's no question of having faith in the Lord. When somebody tells you that Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you will say, no, he's not. Somebody tell you that you are part of Kṛṣṇa, and you should go to Kṛṣṇa, you should take to bhakti. You will say, no. You say, no, I don't accept. This is all due to envy. This is due to envy. What is that verse? During the morning. Echadvesa. What is that? Echadvesa? Echadvesa. What is that? Echadvesh. During the Mohina Bharata. The duality, desires that brought us into this world, this world of duality. This is because of the envy of the Lord. Because of this envy, we don't accept the Lord as a master. We don't accept him as a controller. We take we are the master. I'm the master. And that's what makes the difference between the devotee and non-devotees. Devotees, they don't consider themselves as master. Devotees are very, very humble. Devotees are very humble. Devotees are very tolerant. And also devotees are very, very compassionate. Very compassionate. Jividoya. Because of their meekness, the simplicity, the humility. This is how do one develop this? The main roots, key ingredient is non-enviousness. Envy. With the envy, difficult to accept spiritual knowledge. With the envy, difficult to accept spiritual instructions. With the envy. But that envy, the origin is from God. The origin is our envious of Kṛṣṇa, our original envy of the Lord, and that's why we are in the material world. So unless the envy is eradicated from the heart, then the acceptance of spiritual knowledge will not be there. Unless the envy is eradicated from the heart. And that's why, as I say, a Vaishnava, a devotee, is very, very simple. Is simple by nature. It's simple because he has no envy. No envy is not there in a devotee. And when there is no envy in the heart, when the heart is clean, then become possible for the Lord to come and rest in that heart, to come and stay in that heart. The Lord said, Aham Bhakta Paradi, that I rest within the heart of my devotee. Tomorrow Rido Yesada Govinda Vishram. Govinda Kohina Mama Vaishna Param. So Narottam Das Thakur said that within your heart, he's pressing the pure devotee. He said, within your heart, Govinda Vishram, Tomare, Hridaya Sada Govinda Vishram. In your heart, Govinda is always resting, sleeping nicely in your heart. So how does Govinda rest in your heart if you are envy? No. Because the heart is very, very clean. No abima of anything. Very, very clean. So the Lord stays in that heart. So and that's why, as they say, that the pure devotee is very, very rare. Very, very rare thing for one who Govinda stays in his heart. Because he has no envy. So the Lord is emphasizing here, those who are out of envy, they disregard his teachings and do not follow them regularly, are to be considered bereft of all knowledge, befooled, vimūḍhān, befooled, and then ruined in their endeavors for perfection. So which means they will never attain any perfection. They will never attain any success in the pursuit of spiritual life. They will never attain any success. They will never see the light. Purport said, he said, a disobedient person, however great he may be, is ignorant of his own self and of the Supreme Brahman, Paramātmā, and the personality of Godhead due to a vacant heart. Due to a vacant heart. So if the ignorance of his own self, of the Lord, the Supreme Lord. So therefore, he said at the end, therefore, there is no hope of perfection of life for him. So which means the person will stay in this material world for long period of time. So, and therefore, how do we become free from envy? First, we have to be simple. That's all. Simplicity. Simplicity is Vaishnavism, not crookedness. Because if you are crooked, then we'll be full of envy. So the simplicity is required. And this simplicity is due to acceptance of the Lord into one's life. It's due to acceptance of the Lord into one's heart. Then one becomes very, very simple. Simplicity that is there. So this is what the Lord is saying in this text, that yes, one should be nimatsara, non-envious. One should accept the statement of the Shastra, the statement of the scriptures. One should accept. So Arjuna definitely accepts, because Arjuna is a devotee. He's a dear devotee. And the Lord is teaching Arjuna. It's not that he's teaching Arjuna, but the Lord is teaching us through Arjuna, because the Lord does not deal with the conditioned source. When the Lord wants to give his teaching, he gives his teaching through his devotees only. And then the devotee will communicate that to the world. So devotees is temporarily put into illusion, like Arjuna did, and then the Lord himself, by his own energy, he put Arjuna into illusion, so that the Arjuna can become confused, and then he says, "Oh, Sishashtihan Sadamantam Prapana, that my dear Lord, I want to become your disciple. So therefore, give me instruction." So that's by the Lord's own arrangement, and then Arjuna started hearing from the Lord. And whatever he hearing, he has faith. And because Arjuna is non-envious of Kṛṣṇa, so he was understanding whatever Kṛṣṇa is telling him. So at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna asked him, the Lord asked, "My dear Arjuna, have you understood everything what I said? And are you ready to do as I've instructed?" Arjuna said, "Yes, I've understood everything, and I'm ready to act as you instructed." So that's the devotee. Okay, thank you very much. So if there's any question, are you able to understand me? Okay. So it's always, Bhagavad Gita is always full of knowledge. Because it's coming from the Supreme Lord himself. So, okay, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki, Hare Krishna.